Let's get into it because some of y'all are calling it love, and it's really logistics. If a man is talking about building, but he doesn't have stable housing, reliable transportation, stable income, or a consistent way to take care of himself, baby, he is not trying to build a life with you. He is trying to move into yours. And the reason this is dangerous is because it never starts with, can I use your car and run your bills up? It starts with, I've never felt this before. You're my peace. I'm different. And I just need a woman who believes in me. That's not romance. That's a recruiting pitch. Because once he gets access to your home, your resources, and your routine, now you're not dating, you're managing. So today, we're talking about the hobosexual blueprint, love bombing, future faking, moving too fast, and calling it building when it really is resource extraction. Hey lovelies, this is Janelle, the relationship coach behind the Successful Invisible, and I'm here today with another episode of Ish I Saw on TikTok. He wants to build, but he doesn't even have a key to his own life. If you want the tools to vet this fast, like my key access rules, hobosexual screening questions, and scripts for saying no without guilt, I keep all of that inside my exclusive coaching community on Coffee. Link is in the description box below if you're ready to date with boundaries and protect what you've worked for.
Men that have never been head of household. I just saw a post yesterday. I wish I could find the post. I got busy. I wasn't able to like or save it. But this girl was talking about men who have never been head of household. Men who have never been head of household, you need to run from them. These are the type of men that are called hobosexuals. What is hobosexual? It is someone that is quick to fall in love just for a place to stay. Quick to tell you that they building with you just for a place to stay. And it's not just men. It's women as well too, but it's mainly men, narcissistic men. So they meet you, they love bomb you and all this just so they can have a place to stay. And when you get them finally in your crib, because there's men on here that tell other men how to get somewhere to stay. They say, get a woman who has no standards, that got low self-esteem, that is just dying for somebody to love her, and love bomb the hell out of her so that you can manipulate her and get into her crib. The worst type of man to be with is a man that is always house hopping. That means he's hopping from woman to woman to woman and living in their crib. He's never owned his own crib, never had his own car, and he gets with women so that he can benefit off of them. And these men were raised on survival and not love. They can't love you. They love the benefit that comes with you, but they cannot love you. And in between each house, they going back to their mammy house. And I love how she said that these type of men, because they have nothing to lose, they will help you lose it all. These are the type of men that are no good. They lack ambition. They got buku baby mamas, multiple baby mamas, children out there, out of wedlock, a lot of broken homes, and they come and sell you a pipe dream and make you think that they will come in and help you upgrade. But what you are really doing is you are helping them look like they that nigga, because men know that their woman is a reflection of them. So they're gonna get with this woman. She got the house, she got the car, she got the good job, and it's just for them to look better than what they are. But they're really not contributing. Why? Because half of their paycheck is going to child support, probably 75% of it, or the money that they're coming in, they're just helping you pay these little bills, but y'all not really building together. You're helping build this man up. So ain't nothing worse than a man that ain't never had his own place. And fellas, young fellas, work hard and get your own stuff so no woman can ever tell you to get out her shit. Because at the end of the day, can no woman respect you if you're not a provider? She'll respect you more if she got her own crib, you got your own crib, and then y'all get married, court each other, get married, and then y'all cohabitate. But you just not having your own, you're not your own car, not your own crib, and you're constantly having to look to her. What? No. Men need their own stuff. And women, stay away from them hobosexuals, because these type of men, they not good to be with. They're not, because they will come and try to take. And then they will even have the audacity to come in your house and try to criticize the things that you have, that you work hard for and earned, that they ain't never touched a day in their life, that they can't even maintain. Stay away from the hobosexual. Don't you let that man move in your crib, and don't you let him drive your whip, because he is an opportunist and he's self-seeking and self-serving. and he wants to utilize your resources. He loves how you treat him. He loves what you can do for him, but he can't do nothing for you in return. You meet this man, he's love bombing you. He's telling you you're the love of his life, whoop de wah wah wah. That is what hobosexuals do, so that they can get in your crib and then try to form some kind of dominance or act as if they're head of household because they're contributing to something that you was holding down before they even came. He's trying to make it seem like he's helping you out by using your car to go to work. He's trying to make it seem like he's helping you out by paying bills that for you, your household, that he's helping the bill increase by using your lights, using your water, and etc. Using your car and it requiring more gas because he's getting around in your car. If he don't come with what you have, leave him where he's at. You are not Barbara the Builder. You're just not. Because a man that does not have anything, he will help you lose it all and go on to the next woman, the next desperate pick-misha. Y'all got to stop letting these hobosexuals in your house and stop letting them utilize your resources that you work hard for. Because at the end of the day, they will help you lose everything and leave you and go on about their business to their mama crib until they can find their next victim. Women have to start loving themselves more and having standards, of course not unrealistic standards, but not allowing a man to utilize you for your resources. Men like this grew up on survival and not love. So when they look at you as to how can you help meet their needs. Needs by shelter, needs by how are they going to get to work, your vehicle, and how they can go around and hang out in your car and in your stuff. It makes it easier for them to not have to be real men and provide for themselves and get their own crib and hold their own stuff down. There's nothing worse than a man that has never been the head of household. A man should experience that. If he cannot hold down his own bills and pay his own bills, what makes you think he is going to be able to do that with you?
Do you live by yourself?
No, I live with my mother.
Oh, yeah, I figured that.
Right.
Okay. How old are you?
27. I know. Oh, gosh, yep, this is the part I knew was coming. But,
How do you feel about that?
Would I say, am I proud? No, I'm definitely not proud, but there's definitely, I just want to build something. I feel like building, working towards building something that's going to take care of the family. That's why I started the business. I really don't like, for me, I always just wanted to be a boss. Like, I never feel like I don't know. I guess I have problems with rules and stuff, and the jobs just get boring over a certain amount of time you're there. It just get too boring for me. Like, something got to keep me interested. I love, I would say like some of my favorite jobs I had in the past were like just like based off of tips, stuff like that. Cause it's a little bit more, you can have a great day, you can have a bad day, but it's just, I got to work for that. It's not like just, okay, you're here, set time, set hours and stuff like that. So, yeah.
You're a hobosexual.
Dang.
I seen a post that said there are men out there who have never been head of household. Like, they have lived with every woman they've dated. They just hop from woman to woman. And in between those women, they stay with their mama. Please stay away from those type of men. Like, please. Because in the common saying, a man with nothing will help you lose everything. And guess where they gonna go when you ain't got shit? To their mama house.
I know a lot of y'all seen that post that says stay away from men that have never been head of household. I say it every day, all day on this goddamn app. Stay away from men that have never been head of household, because men that ain't got shit will help you lose every goddamn thing that you worked hard and earned and gained your own goddamn self. But these be the same kind of men that women be raising, and when they leave your house, they go from your house to another woman's house, from that woman's house back to your house, from that woman's house back to another woman's house, back to your house, to the auntie, to the sister, to the grandma, to the cook. They've never been established and led themselves in no capacity on their own ever in their goddamn life, from the age of 18 to 65, goddamn it. We see it all day, every goddamn day. You don't want little young ladies. Stay far the hell away from men like that. They don't know how to be stable on them own outside of a woman guiding them through life. And that's the worst thing you can ever want to be as a woman, is another goddamn mama to a goddamn man that ain't been raised right to get out here and get his goddamn own and get himself established. And they wonder, and you men, y'all wonder, y'all might think somebody bashing y'all, but y'all wonder why y'all end up with the type of women that y'all end up, and y'all get little boys. It's because you ain't got your shit together, but you want to get treated like a grown ass man. How you get to get treated as a grown-ass man, but you land under the roof of a goddamn woman that's providing and doing everything? Even if you up under her roof and say you paying all the goddamn bill, the lease still ain't in your goddamn name. The light bill still ain't in your name. The water bill still ain't in. A woman is still under control of every goddamn... If anything happens, she can put your ass goddamn clean out and ain't nothing you can do about it. What you gonna do? Put up a fight and want to fight and get yourself in trouble? Now you got a case. Now you got to go to court. Now you got to do all that. But if the women that's supposed to be helping aiding and raising these so-called son husbands that y'all want to call, then why the hell is the women not raising? Why y'all not helping y'all sons get established when they leave y'all goddamn house? But the reason why you're not doing it, because you as a woman, you either was a burden to a man when you got on your goddamn foot, or that's how you was raised, and that's what you seen your own mama do, your own grandmama do, your own auntie do. But these are conversations that y'all don't like to have because it's a reflection of your goddamn self. But if you fix the reflection in the mirror, having these conversations come easy, baby. Never let a man that ain't never been head of household lead you.
So I saw this post, right? And it was like, don't beware of the men who never been head of household. Like, he dates every woman and live with them. And when they break up, he goes and live with his mom or a female relative in the family. Baby, when I say that is nothing but the truth, stay away from those men. Y'all saw my post, what I made that last year when I was like, somebody with nothing will help you lose everything. Them be the ones I'm talking about. And the females too. We not even gonna just say men. And females who have never had their own crib or who cannot sustain stability and keep a crib enough to sign that lease and renew it the next year. Yeah, stay away from them hoes too, because they just lack an understanding of responsibility and maturity. Like, I used to tell my ex all the time, I used to be like, you don't understand how I or why I be so stressed out, because bills don't come in your name. Your name is not on this lease. Hell, niggas ain't even had a house key to my house. And it wasn't until we broke up and now he has a house and all of the things that he be like, I understand where you coming from, and we have some of the same, struggles now. And he be like, I really understand where you was coming from. That shit is real and it's nothing to play with. It's not. But they'll never understand that shit unless they do it on their own. Don't let nobody come up in your motherfucking house, and do not date them niggas. Don't let them do nothing. No, 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 no. Let them learn, let them grow, let them go.
A man can come up fast by being with a good woman. A lot of men ain't never been the head of their households. They ain't never had a household to be the head of. They've only seen strong women taking care of children and the household. That's why they trying to get in your shit. They trying to see what you got going on, because they know that they could come up faster off of a woman. You're a target. No, they cannot come over your house. You ain't never had your own shit. And even if you have, how long did you have it? Every time I get you, motherfucker, you ain't never got shit. And then you telling me stories about what you used to have. Why you don't still have it? Why you can't maintain it? Why you can't sustain your position on the motherfucking throne? That's because you ain't never sat on the throne. Everything you've acquired, it came because of a good woman. Whole life they've watched women be the head of the household, so they don't even have a good example nor a role model to even show them what that looks like. Don't let nobody live with you. Hell no, I can't have no company. This my kid's shit. You ain't got your own place. We shouldn't even be talking. Listen to what I'm saying. A man can have nothing but dick in conversation and move in with a woman and glow up. I have yet to see a woman who has nothing move in with a man and not pay no bills, and she done glowed up, got a master's, he done bought her a car, he done made sure that all maintenance was taken care of. Stop making it easy for them to be shit. It's too many men out here putting their hands on shit that they was never supposed to have.
Let's jump into my favorite part of all of the content I post on YouTube, and that's just my thoughts, where I get to kind of express what I feel about whatever we have read or gone over. So let's get into it. All right, y'all know how I like to do whenever we look at these clips from social media about a topic. I usually want to bring about 5 main points from a coaching perspective to you, my lovely audience, to educate you, to make you more aware, and help you become a better dater. So let's jump into it. Point number one: fast love can be a tactic, not a timeline. When a man is rushing intimacy, future faking, and building talk before he's shown consistent stability or even consistent communication with you, you're not being swept off your feet. You may be getting love bombed. Love bombing is widely recognized as a manipulation pattern that can show up as excessive flattery, intense early commitment talk, and attempts to lock you in quickly, right? So I want to put a coaching emphasis on the fact that a healthy man doesn't need urgency to secure access. He just uses consistency. He just shows up consistently, okay? Point number two: if he needs your resources to function, you're at risk for financial abuse. And this is a big one because it can come in many different forms, shapes, sizes. And a lot of women who never thought that they would be susceptible to this get sucked into it. So the move in, use your car, run up your bills, claims he's helping pattern, that is a classic setup for economic financial abuse. And then once he's physically in your home, it could lead to physical abuse as well. Using someone else's money, assets, credit, or stability to gain power and control. And like I said, it's a lot more frequent than a lot of women realize. And women who never thought they would be susceptible to it are indeed susceptible to it. You know, there's an organization, it's called the NNEDV. They outline financial abuse as a common control tactic in abusive relationships. I'll include the link in the description box below. And it includes limiting access to assets or exploiting finances. And it is wild. I have seen an uptick in this, not directly with my clients, but with, stories they tell me, etc., where a man is being financially abusive to the woman that's actually working while he is not. And it's just really a mind trip when you understand the lengths that certain men will go to not to pour into someplace, not to support themselves, but also the lengths they'll go to hinder a woman who's trying to be about her business. A coaching emphasis I want to put on this is building, air quotes, is mutual. If the relationship drains your resources and grows his, that's extraction, not partnership. And there's a lot of people who get very upset when you say basically you are being used, because it sounds terrible, right? But when you really look at it, with no emotion involved, are you pouring more into a relationship than your partner is, or are you losing in the relationship and your partner seems to be staying the same or likely gaining? That's when you know you're in a dynamic that is not healthy or productive for you. Okay, point number 3, cohabitation can become a control trap. That head of household is often a dominance play, a domination play. And this goes into the fact that men do not need to be trying to be the head of anybody's household until they're the head of their own household. Like post-parents and post-college, he needs to stand on his own 2 feet before he decides to try to live with a woman and be the head of her household where her name is on the lease or the mortgage and he's just contributing to it because he didn't have the means to get that lease or mortgage himself. So this can be a tricky one right here, because then he'll manipulate passages. A lot of men do, not all, manipulate passages from the Bible to try to say he's the head of household. I have so much to say on that, but just be very mindful of this one, because once he's in your space, a user can shift into coercive control. A partner can shift into coercive control, a pattern of behavior designed to make you dependent by isolating you, exploiting you, and regulating your day-to-day life. This is especially if you are the one that's working. Women's Aid describes coercive control as behavior that makes someone dependent through isolation, exploitation, and deprivation of independence. So even if you're the one producing money and he's not, he can, if this is his mindset, he can lean into that behavior with little to no consequence to you, but it will cause devastation to the woman in the relationship. So it's wise to avoid this overall. If he don't have his own motion going on, leave that man alone. A coaching emphasis I would like to make here is if his vibe changes after access, meaning you take it to another next step in your relationship, it doesn't even have to be moving in. He wants to put on more rules on you, and then he's acting more entitled, and there's more monitoring overall going on. That's not leadership, it's control. And he needs to learn how to control himself before he worries about anybody else. And that's not a healthy dynamic to have in a romantic relationship. It's not even, controlling is not an appropriate characteristic to have in any relationship, honestly, but especially in a romantic one. Tip number 4, sliding into living together raises the cost of leaving. Remember that. Sliding into living together raises the cost of leaving. I am not a believer of commingling finances with somebody that we have not made a commitment before God and before the state. Because remember, marriage is a spiritual and a legal commitment and contract. So even when it's not abusive, moving in too soon can create practical constraints, housing, bills, logistics, that make it harder to leave a situation that's wrong. And guess what? If you rush into it, 9 times out of 10, it was probably wrong. That's why he's rushing you. Research summaries and studies on cohabitation timing note that pre-engagement cohabitation can be associated with higher divorce risk in some samples. And the key issue is often sliding into constraints before clarity. There are far too many men, do not want to say all, there are far too many men, especially in this atmosphere today, based upon a lot of the content they consumed and have been brainwashed by. They have this belief that they need to try to exert control, and there's no commitment, there's no even clarified boundaries. But once again, control is not a characteristic that any adult human being who wants a healthy relationship should seek to engage in if they desire a productive, healthy, loving, mutually respectful romantic relationship. Coaching emphasis I'd like to put on this is don't let convenience decide your commitment. Clarity first, keys later. Point number 5, stability is not shallow, it's safety. Your text in exchange with a man, pay attention to what he's saying in text, and pay attention to what he's saying in the early stages of messaging, because he is going to reveal probably quicker than he realizes about his level of adult self-sufficiency. Remember, if he can't maintain his own housing, transportation, and responsibilities, the odds are high that you'll become the infrastructure of his life. Now, I know people are going to want to caveat this. What if he lives in New York City and all this? We understand that there are unique situations where a man may have a roommate, right? The equally paying non-family member who is also contributing to the bills of that place. That's not what I'm referring to here. And even that situation, you need to take a step back and really assess, because that's a case-by-case basis. But overall, if this man has never lived on his own, completely on his own, and paying his own bills, but yet wants to use your resources and your housing, girl, that's huge red flag. That's why vetting your partner, potential partner, should include some very direct questions and verification. You need to get independent verification, because coercive control and financial abuse often start subtle and escalate after access. And that's true of most poor behaviors, not all, but most, because humans escalate, and he's going to try to put his feelers out there to see where his baseline is. What can he get away with to start? Don't allow that. Have pretty strict boundaries that are very clear from the beginning, and you'll avoid a lot of this mess, or minimize the chances. I don't want to say avoid, minimize the chances. A coaching emphasis I would like to put on this is, you're not Barbara the Builder. Shira 7 has said this many times. Date men who can stand on their own, then choose you without needing you to carry them. And that's a huge one for me. A man needs to be able to hold it all down by himself. And if he's never proven that he can do that before he was with you, while he was single, whatever, it's not going to happen once he's with you. He's going to try to put all that burden on you for the stability and all the things. And then he wants this patriarchal control. It's a very twisted thing, and it's very harmful. If he's not self sufficient as an adult, he's likely underdeveloped in other areas as well, in terms of maturity, in terms of financial planning slash retirement, in terms of wealth building. He's probably also behind on those fronts. So it is very important to leave men alone who don't really have their stuff together. Now, there's some grace for men who are in their early 20s, but after that, you get into this really gray area, and then the next thing you have 40-year-olds who are still, at Big Mama's house. And that's seen as normal to the family because he didn't do what he was supposed to do. So these are my top 5 kind of takeaways that I got from the videos. Let me know your thoughts below, and let me know if you have encountered any men who want to come in and try to be the king of your castle or be the head of your household when he's barely to never ever held on to his own place with his own abilities to function and do things. So definitely curious to hear what you guys got to say. So here's the truth. A man who's ready to build doesn't need to move in to prove it. And also, a man who has his own shit together is not in a rush to relinquish what he has going on to combine household. Especially not early on. When you get down the line and you two are serious and you're talking about, moving toward marriage or something like that, that's a different conversation, and that makes sense in that context. But when you are a few months into this thing and you're dating a man, if he really has his own motion and has his stuff going on, he is not trying to give up what he has going on in the stability of his home to try to commingle with yours. It doesn't make sense. He can be consistent without access, and he knows it. So a man who's in a rush to do all that, he's fronting and faking, sis, and he wants to get access to your shit. Leave that man alone. A man who is about his business and serious can show effort without your car. He can lead his own life without borrowing yours. And if your boundaries make him angry, pouty, or you don't believe in me type of bullshit, which is so manipulative because you did not raise that man. That's not love. You just interrupted the plan. And I say interrupt all of these dudes' plans when they're plotting on you, because a stable man won't be threatened by standards. He'll respect them because he has his own. The only men who fight you on basic protection are the ones who benefit from you having none. Remember that. If you want my key access rule, hobosexual screening checklist, vetting questions, and exit scripts that help you shut this shit down cleanly, it's inside my exclusive coaching community on Coffee. Link is in the description box below. Come join us when you're ready to date smarter and keep your peace and your assets intact.